Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new C64 Sunday adventure. Today we're going to be playing game number 97, and you may be wondering, why game number 97 when you haven't played game 100 and game 98 yet? And the answer is, I have played both those games, I played the multiplayer with some people online, and somehow the footage got corrupted. So what I've got to do is record this game pretty quickly, and get it up for this Sunday. I don't want to miss a Sunday, but hopefully I'll be re-recording those ones and putting them up soon. And they'll be very appropriate games to play in conjunction with this one because this is Grand Prix Circuit. One thing I've done to kind of show off the more authentic version of this is we've got the turbo drive turned off so that everything's going to load real time and we'll get sort of a feel of that. I'll do that in future games as well, but the difference is going to be that if in this game it doesn't take the longest time to load. We got time to talk about some things, and actually let's get that started here. But if it takes a long time to load, I'll just put a little timer in the corner and crank up the speed in which the video plays. So this game was cracked by nostalgia. This is going to let us reset our scores, and I'm going to not reset the scores because this is my second time playing through and I want to try to do better than I did last time. So I want to see how that works out. The game's made by Accolade. Something interesting about it is that we actually have a load bar telling us the progress. If we had this progress back in the day, man, it would have been a lot easier to wait for these games to load, but you never knew how much longer it was going to be. This game comes out in 1988, so I guess it was a little bit later in the cycle of the Commodore 64 being popular, and maybe someone finally figured out how to make load bars. I don't know why more games didn't have them. But, like I said, the game is made by Accolade, and it's Grand Prix Circuit. It was just published by Accolade. The company that actually made it was Distinctive Software. The programmers were Kevin P. Pickell and Frank Barchard, who are listed here. Krisjan Hatlelid did the music, and I missed the art guy, but if you want to really know who made the art and whatnot, you can check him out there. This is the McLaren. We're going to be using this for our race. And like I said, because we're trying to do this a little bit quicker, am I holding the wrong controller? I could very well be. Trying to get the other one up here without making too much noise. I was indeed holding the wrong controller. Alright, whoops, here we go. So, all we're really going to do here is change the name to Zerfall. We're going to use beginner difficulty because I'm a bit of a beginner at this game. And we are going to be doing a single race. I actually really enjoyed this game, and the championship circuit doesn't seem like it's going to take all that long to do. So I'll probably do a let's play of this next time I got a couple hours to kill. But right now, I have to get this video up quick because I got to leave town, and I've already tried recording this once, so we're going to get right into it. Some interesting... Oh, we're going to be playing also the Canadian track. It's the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Probably pronouncing that horribly, but it's in Montreal, I believe. The current record on this is held by Ralf Schumacher, who was driving a Williams-BMW at the time. His lap time was 1 minute 12 seconds .275. So we're going to drive the McLaren and try to best that time at least at some point during this playthrough. Now, just like in real racing, you've got to qualify before you can to see what your position would be in the race. And I suppose if you don't qualify, you don't get to race in the first place. So we're going to be doing that right away. We're going to be listening to some sweet engine sounds this whole time. And unfortunately, there's no load bar for this part. But like I said, there's not a big deal of load times in this game. And I think it's because they do each little bit individually. Try to break it up into smallest... break the weight up over top over the course of the whole game instead of all right up front. But some interesting facts about this game. Apparently it must have been more popular in Germany because the C64 wiki in English does not have a page on this game, but the German one does, so I've been reading the translated one of that to try to get some tips on how to play the game. I've only raced this track maybe 3 times, so hopefully I managed to beat my old record. And hopefully I managed to qualify. I gotta get back on the track here. Anyone that played some old DOS or a lot of old racing games, especially if they had a mouse in the game, will recognize this interface with a little red dot on the steering wheel. You could use the mouse to sort of get a more analog control over what you were doing. But the downside of it when you're using a controller or a joystick is that as far as it's analog, you can't pull to the left and right really fast. You have to move the thing slowly left and right. And you kind of have to recenter it yourself. It'll recenter slowly over time, but not nearly fast enough for what you need. Now we got a hairpin turn coming up here. So I gotta slam on the brakes pretty soon. 100 meters, 50 meters. Oh, a little too soon this time. Normally oh, that's probably actually the best I've ever done that turn. I don't think we were going to make it to the finish line in 12 seconds, though. So much for beating the record on qualification, but I should qualify a little bit better than I normally do, I think. And this last little S-turn is the only one that I do good on. Maybe it's not quite called an S-turn when it only zigs like that. But I managed to keep it together. And the computer will now decide where I'm going to end up in the positioning. 6th, that is the best I've ever done. The furthest up before this I've ever gotten was 8th. So I guess a little bit of off-screening really helped. Now, we're going to be racing against computer players now. If you bump into them too many times, you get a puncture and you're out of the race. On the hardest difficulty levels, I believe you can only bump twice. And if you manage to bump the same car the 2 times, you're both out of the race with a puncture. So, now that being said, that's from the German instructions, so I don't know how correct it is. But man, this is going to be super easy because we just got out in front of everybody. Although I kind of messed up that turn, so that might not last. But the sooner you get out, just like most racing games, especially video games, the sooner you get out in front of everybody, especially on easier settings, the less likely they are to catch up to you. The real hazard is other drivers on the road. And getting out this far ahead right away, I might actually be able to lap somebody. That's my new goal. So much for beating the record. My new goal is to lap somebody, and I got to drive a little bit better if I want to pull that off. Now, and this, like I said, this game 97. The score that the game has, according to the top 100 list, is 8.7. I think that's the score given to it by the Lemon 64 website. The user ranking score is 8.3, which isn't the highest. Frick. See, this is how I normally do the hairpin turn, because I kind of forget that I have to not suck there. Is 8.3 is the user ranking. Some other website reviews that were given to this are the website C64 Games gave this game a 10. I'm assuming out of 10. It doesn't say what it's out of, but it's the only thing that really makes sense. Oh boy. Alright, well, we're up to speed here for when we're passing the finish line, so that could give us the chance to really bring down our race time, especially if I do a better job on the hairpin this time. I managed to stay on the road, on the first corner at least. Whoa, I thought that was a left turn coming up, but this is the left turn. Now, I think I run into the same problem that I think Bobo the Vulture has sometimes, where you're trying to talk about your interesting game and commentary about it, but when it's a racing game, you don't really have time to not pay attention to the road. Every once in a while you have kind of straightaway and it makes it easier there, but I don't think that this is going to be a world record lap here. Oh boy. Alright, if I can pull this hairpin corner off a little better than normal though. Oh, see, I always brake way too late. End up way off in the grass. Oh well. Cultboy.com gave this game an 8.3 as well. Who knows, maybe they just copy the user rankings from the Lemon 64 site. That'd be an easy way to make your own review site. And ZZZap, or ZZap64, which I'm assuming is ZZap in actuality, which was a magazine. Actually, it was a magazine. There you go. It gave it, in 1989, gave it a 79% ranking, which actually, if you think about it, isn't all that bad. Oh, we pulled off that first corner a lot better. Yeah, this control scheme really, I mean, they knew that you needed analog controls for racing games to really work well, and they were trying to come up with a way to do it without using analog means, but really, I feel like maybe the game should have been a combination of use the little spinny dial. I don't know if anyone remembers those control. Well, I know someone remembers them, but I don't know if anyone watching remembers those little dial controllers that, as you pushed left and right, it kind of did left and right. Those probably would have worked really well for a racing game. Use that as the steering wheel. Use forward as gas and backward as brake. Oh man. Okay, so we have 20 seconds here to get to the finish. We might be able to pull off a new record. I don't think we're gonna lap that guy that's right at the back, but we tried. Just zig left. Oh, we might lap him. We might lap him. Get out of my way though. Don't mess me up. Oh, we could get both things that I want to do at once. Yeah. 1:09.58. Wow. That's a pretty sweet end of the race there. We actually managed to lap somebody. We managed to break Ralph's record of 1:12 seconds. So I don't know, maybe I should be editing this Wikipedia page and putting up a screenshot of that saying, oh no, this has been beat in a McLaren. So if this was the Grand Prix mode, we'd be getting 9 points. I'm not sure why our car number is 206. I don't know if you can edit that. But I'm pretty happy with the way that went. I kind of wasn't paying too much attention on the third lap with all the stuff I was talking about, and it worked out. Anyways, it's a pretty cool game to check out. You might want to check it out. It also came out on the ZX Spectrum, the Amiga, the Amstrad CPC, the IBM. I do think the controls would be awesome with like that little dial, and then use like the control stick for up and down. Not control stick, joystick. Even as someone that grew up with all this stuff, my lexicon's been changed by the today's technology. But let's look at our little victory. Oh, see, look. Now our average speed was a little bit better than my last time, so I'm happy on that too. I am Zerfall. And let's see what our little celebration looks like here. Yeah, that's some pretty good music. Those guys are blowing their champagne loads all over the place. And we've won. Now, I thought I kind of recognized this song last time I heard it. Yeah. Sounds kind of like the na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. Which is kind of a weird song, I suppose, for a victory thing, but maybe they managed to get away with it without taking a lawsuit. There was a rampant music theft back in the day, because I guess if you were doing a chiptune version of it, it was technically a cover. They didn't call them chiptunes at the time either. But anyways, like I said, next time I got a couple hours to kill, I'm probably going to run through the whole Grand Prix mode and maybe do a full Let's Play of this game. I'm Zerfall, thanks for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Now his prize has changed into a clock. He's won the Flava Flav prize for best time.